Welcome or welcome back. Hi food lovers, today we are going to do some island cooking. We have rice and peas, oxtail and plantains. Let's begin. Now firstly, I did wash my oxtail with water and vinegar. You can do water and lemon or lime, that's up to you. But as you know, us Caribbean people cannot cook our proteins without washing it. Let's begin the marinating process. I have some oxtail seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, Adobe all-purpose seasoning, allspice, browning, green seasoning, mix it properly. Make sure all of your meat is coated well with all the seasoning, and you're going to place it aside in the fridge and let it marinate. You can do a few days, a few hours, or you could get started right away if you're really in a rush. But the more it is marinated, the more flavorful your oxtail will be. I'm gonna set mine aside and let it marinate for a few hours. Now I'm going to move on to searing. As you can see, I'm searing it with very little oil. The key is just making sure my pot is nice and hot so I can get some nice searing on each side of the oxtail. Traditionally, Jamaicans do fry their oxtail before stewing, but I'm the type of cook that likes to make tasty dishes but still try to make it as healthy as I possibly can without ruining the flavor. So I'm just going to use a little oil at a time, and I'm also not crowding my pot. If you do crowd the pot, then you wouldn't get that nice searing. So you're just going to do a little at a time. Take it out, put it in a bowl, set it on the side, and then you're going to move on to doing the remaining pieces of meat until all of it is seared. Here you see, nicely seared, and we're gonna start cooking. I'm adding it all to the pot. First I'll add some ketchup. I am going to add that ketchup, mix it in nicely, and continue to cook my oxtail for about 10 to 20 minutes. I will let that cook so it can develop its own flavor and everything with its own juices. No water, no anything. Just add the ketchup, let it cook for about 10 to 20 minutes. I return and I'm going to stir the pot. As you can see, it's developing nicely. Now I'm going to add a little bit of honey. Mix it. Always mix because it tends to stick to the bottom of the pot. Now I'll add my onions. Mix that in. Garlic. Mix it in again. Now I'm going to cover and let cook. I come back a few more minutes, I mix it again. As I say, you continuously mix it because you don't want it to get stuck at the bottom and burn. I still haven't added any water, I'm just letting it cook into its own juices. As you can see, it's building nicely. Now I'm going to add some liquid. Let it cook some more. I'm back to searing. I'll add the last bit of honey in there. Some people typically use brown sugar, but our secret here is using honey. After I add my honey, I mix it in and let it continue to kick. As you can see, it's building nicely. It's gaining a lot of body. Add more liquid and we will continuously add a little liquid at a time. You don't want to add too much liquid, just a little at a time. Now I'm adding some of my cube chicken bouillon, also as it's called, and let it build some more flavor. I'll move on in the meantime to cooking my rice. I added some oil. Now I'm adding my onions. Cook it a bit until it's translucent. Now I'll add some garlic. Stir it a bit. Now I'm adding 2 cups of coconut milk. Stir that. I'll add some green onions. You don't need to chop it because after your rice is cooked, you'll just pull it out. I added some green onions, thyme, and Scotch bonnet. I let it cook for a bit because you have to cook down your coconut milk. Now I'm adding some more allspice, some sazon. Let it cook a bit some more. Now I'm adding some of my juices from my red beans. I did pressure cook some red beans before. I did do that ahead of time, sorry. So now I added some of the liquid just to build my flavor profile for my rice. I tasted a bit, adjusted my seasoning. Now that the flavor is building nicely, I add in my rice. Here I'm adding in my pre-cooked red beans, and that's it. Pretty simple but very flavorful. Now we're going to move back to checking our oxtail. Now that my oxtail is cooked fully, well, not fully, but it's about 95%, now I can add in my seasonings because I wait till the very last to add all of my seasonings, so then it would be a bit more flavorful, because if you add everything too soon, by the end of it all, it's not as flavorful. The list of ingredients will be listed below, so you will know what I did add in my oxtail. After I let the seasoning cook for about another 15 minutes, I taste it to make sure it's good. Now I'm going to add my butter beans. Add in the butter beans, and I'm going to let that cook for about 10 to 15 minutes again. Look at that sauce. I'm telling you, this oxtail is so good. Yeah, I check on my rice. Look at it, nicely cooked, not overcooked or anything. Now I can remove the Scotch bonnet, the thyme, and the green onions. That's why I left it whole, because it would be easy to pull it out of the rice. Now we get back to checking our oxtail. I tasted it. At the latter end, I like to add a little bit of allspice just to improve flavor. And I'm adding a little touch of thyme just to have a hint of that in my gravy, because as I said, if you add too much of the seasoning too soon, at the latter end it wouldn't be there. And now it's all done. Let's plate our dish. We have our rice and peas, oxtail, a little bit of plantains, and that's it, folks. Enjoy. Let me know what it's like when you taste it. What do you think about the recipe? And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bonmangee is here to stay.